What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad, Sean. And today, reactions to the classics. We're going to be taking a look and doing a full album reaction to John Mayer's Continuum record from 2006. This comes courtesy of our patron, Alan. So, a shout out as always, Alan. We've done a couple albums for you. We did In Excess, which we enjoyed last month. So, ready to see what Mr. Mayer has here. And before we just get into it, we'll get into some of the quick facts, and then we're just going to take it to song by song, listen to it, and if it gets copy wrote, then we'll take the music out and upload it to another site where we can have the full thing, and that'll be in the description if we have to go that route. Just letting all the people know. But anyway, let's just get into the quick facts of this record.
Yeah, Trey, and I did a lot of research on this album, right? I know some John Mayer music, but I actually don't know a ton of John Mayer music, so it had me curious because I know he's wildly popular. Was definitely wildly popular, for a decade. So this is his third studio album, as you mentioned. Released in September of 2006. Interestingly, he had already performed almost all of these songs live at different times. It debuted and peaked at number 2 in the U.S., sold 300,000 copies in the first week, because this is right on the cusp of when digital music starts to come in. You're still selling a lot of physical copies. Nominated for 3 Grammys, including Album of the Year, one for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Pop Vocal Performance for Waiting on the World to Change, which is the album opener. We're about to get to that. Generally, the critics actually like this one. Rolling Stone rated it the number 11 album of 2006. It was produced by singer and drummer Steve Jordan and marked a change in Mayer's musical style from his first 2 albums, incorporating elements of blues and soul more heavily than in his previous work with pop rock. Recorded in L.A., New York, and Memphis.
I like that.
So now we're going to get to the opener.
I know this one.
I know this one too. So lead single, 14 in the U.S. As I said, won the Grammy for Best Pop Vocal Performance. Song's theme centers on the singer and his generation's inaction to regard to current world conditions. That was 2006. We're in 2020. Not a lot has changed there. He attributes the inaction to a lack of power. He also laments the corruption among leaders. So he was basically saying in this song that it's not that young people don't want to act. They don't have the power yet to act. Sometimes people forget that. They're not in positions of power because they're younger. Politics was not something Mayer had previously tackled, but here's what he said about it. You cannot avoid war in life. You cannot avoid the fear of terrorism. You cannot avoid those things now. They are part of everyday demeanor, so in a sense, it's become more of an acceptable thing to comment on. So I will listen to this in a different way. I mean, I know this song, but I never listened to it or broke down the lyrics. As always, we'll have the lyrics up here. We might make a comment or 2 on each song, but we will share our thoughts at the end of every song.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad I got that groundwork out of the way.
Yeah, not every song's description is going to be that long, don't worry, but I thought this one was quite interesting.
So, Waiting on the World to Change. Haven't heard this tune in years.
I have not either,
Looking at the track list here, I think it's the only one I know. 12 songs, 49 minutes, so let's get cooking, man. Track number 1, Waiting on the World to Change. Waiting on the World to Change. John Mayer here. Reading the lyrics, like going along with it, made this a much more impactful and
agreed.
Honestly, a better song than just what I had kind of come in with my preconceived notions of it.
Yeah, I think the lyrics, there's not a ton of lyrics. I mean, there's an okay amount. There's not just a minimal amount you get on some songs. There's not a ton of lyrics, but he made them count. There's no lost lyrics. There's no filler lyrics, and he just has some outstanding lines.
And I find it interesting, like in the chorus, there's a couplet in here, like in the middle of it, that's always different in each one. And you have at the start, it's hard to beat the system when we're standing at a distance. Then the next chorus, it's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair. And then the last chorus has one day our generation is going to rule the population. So it's a song I think that's at times hopeful, yet also being rooted in that realistic just the way the world actually works.
Exactly, man. If you're not in power, you can only make a minimal effect, unfortunately. You can try. It doesn't mean we shouldn't try, but I think that's why I went into such a long explanation at the start of this song, because once you understand what it's about and you listen to it with that view, I think you get a lot more out of it. So definitely follow along on the lyrics on this song.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of stuff as we sit here and May of 2020 that's relevant today, and especially this part about the not trusting your television. You got people on both sides of the aisle, not
just giving you the information they want.
Trusting the media there. But I thought his voice was fantastic, and I know too the guitar solo was cool. I know that he'll probably unleash more on this.
Yeah, I would imagine
on this record. So.
Going to move on to a little longer song. I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You. Mm-hmm. It's just what it sounds like. He's going to explore in the lyrics that he doesn't want to leave her, but he knows he's going to, because for some reason he does that every time in his relationships. It's a little bit longer song. So that's the gist of what this song is about. So let's rock this thing.
Nice peaceful outro and fade out here. I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You. I enjoyed that one, man. Had definitely a little bit of just a chill soul like vibe, I think, to it. A little bit of blues in there, especially with the guitar solo. And you kept waiting for it almost to hit that next gear, but it never did. He just he kept it more low key, which I think kind of fit maybe the introspection of this song.
Yeah, I agree. And the line so far of the album for me is, who do you love, me or the thought of me? Me or the thought of me? Because I think in so many relationships, it's not necessarily that the people totally love each other. They don't want to be alone, or they love what the person does for them. Yeah. But that's not the same thing as love. So I thought that was a fantastic line.
No, that was my favorite line of the album so far as well. And then right before we go into that bluesy little guitar solo, didn't like it as much as Waiting on the World to Change. No, I didn't either,
but that song's fantastic, Waiting on the World to Change.
But I already can tell, he's kind of doing some different stuff here. So I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You. Kind of a 2 for 2, man.
All right, that's going to bring us to Belief. It was the second single. He also got nominated on this one for Best Male Performance on a Pop Song. Ooh. It's basically about your beliefs and your moral beliefs. And he talks about, here's his quote about beliefs. It provides, quote, armor, but belief also makes for the heaviest sword. And so he's focusing mainly on the fallout from war.
Okay.
Because most wars come from a strong belief, whether it's way back to the Crusades, Korea, Vietnam, up to the current day. So ought to be interesting tackling a much deeper subject. So he's really got 3 quite different songs lyrically to start this off.
Looking forward to it, man. So let's get to it. Belief.
Guitar was definitely a highlight on that one for me.
Yeah. Ben Harper killed it, man.
Thought the lyrics were great. I thought the song was very pleasant to the ear. I mean, I didn't love it. I mean, it wasn't bad, but lyrically was definitely the strength.
No, I definitely agree on that one. A little more up-tempo than kind of the previous 2 songs. It still had that calmness, that coolness to it that seems to be kind of the theme or the string that is connecting some of these songs, or at least these first 3. I really enjoyed it too in this first verse. Like, is there anyone who ever remembers changing their mind from the paint on a sign, or breaking rank for something someone yelled real loud one time? Kind of reminds. I mean, that's why I never get into like social media, like arguments or anything.
Yeah,
like, who's ever changed their mind from a tweet or a Facebook post?
Yeah, they don't go, oh wow, okay, I guess you're right. So
I think really talking about the deep beliefs that you have is best done with people or at least can do in person. So I like kind of what John was saying in that song.
All right, that brings us to Gravity. It was the 3rd single. Alicia Keys is actually singing backing vocals at the very end of this.
I love some Alicia Keys.
You're going to get your guitar here because it's ranked 84th on Rolling Stone's Top 100 guitar songs of all time. John actually says it's the most important song he ever wrote. He said he'll listen to it every day of his life if he needs to. He said he was in LA writing tunes. He was in the shower, and the verse of this song just came to him. And he basically said that his full-time job is not being a musician. His full-time job is not screwing up. So that's what this song's about. And
Interesting.
His quote is, this song is about making sure you still love yourself, making sure you still have your head on, making sure you still say no the way your mom would say no. and I will need it every day of my life because it's easier to mess up than it is to stay here. So pretty heady, and it's not long lyrically, but that's the build up that Mr. Mayer gives it. So I thought I was looking forward to listening to it after
me too. After
doing all the research on this, I was really looking forward to hearing this album.
So Gravity, let's get it, man. Kind of a softness there in John's voice that was very inviting, I think, just through his vocal delivery here. And really my favorite part of the song was probably the solo that was in the middle, and also that outro, just because he's talking about gravity, this force that he wants to stay away from him.
Yes.
And then where's he gonna go then? Well, whenever gravity's kind of weighing him down in life, and whatever you think gravity might be, I think it's you could probably interpret that as a lot of different things. Maybe just the struggles we all go through in life, and for John in particular, just as you mentioned, not wanting to screw up as a star here and as a musician. And so where are you going to turn to? Well, just keep me where the light is. Keep me where the light is. I thought that was a cool little feature on that too.
Yeah, I like it too. Gravity has taken better men than me as well. And I mean, I'll tell you, we're a third of the way through this album. And I can tell you right now, we're in the hands of professional musicians.
Oh, yeah.
Like these songs
beautifully arranged,
crafted, just excellent all the way around. That brings us to the heart of life. Basically, I think from looking at the lyrics, just a song that tells you that everything's not always going to go like you want it to in life, which if you've lived any amount of years in this world, you've learned several times. But in the end, it's still going to be okay. So that's kind of what I get out of this song.
Well, looking forward to it, man. It's been a very smooth album up to this point,
a good way
man.
Of putting it.
I'm enjoying it for sure, man. For me, that was definitely my least favorite up to this point. Just a little too fluffy, little too, I don't know, kind of, I can envision a guy with his acoustic guitar playing this at on the street corner at a party, this and that. I did, the guitar was definitely my favorite part of this by far. It just, this type of sound kind of isn't my favorite, but this has been the only dud for me up to this point.
Trey bringing the heat. Actually, Trey, this is very likely going to appear on one of my favorites lists at the end of the album. So we are just...
Well, I like that. We kind of got
We're just different. I like I think the message of the song is great. I think this is a nice, smooth, pleasant song, man. So we can agree to disagree on that. So we'll just move on from there to Vultures, which... This was co-written. He wrote all the other ones so far by himself. This is written with Steve Jordan and Pino Palladino, which formed the John Mayer trio. They toured together. Actually, Gravity appears on one of their albums too. They toured together. They recorded some music together, and they still play on a lot of these songs anyway. But they were in on this. I'll let the lyrics kind of, I think it might be about, vultures coming after John or other, just people come after you when you're of fame or even when you're not. When all of us have something that somebody wants from us, right? So they don't really have our best interests at heart. They're just, they're trying to take from us. So I think that's what this is about, but I'll let you decide as you listen to it. Tell me you like that one, my man. That one was smooth, man.
No, that one was that's probably my top two tracks right now.
All right, we got him back, man.
Obvious.
We got him back.
That was, that one was heat, man. I just thought all the way around, one of my favorite vocal performances on this record so far. Again, guitar was heat. As I already mentioned during the song, I thought the chorus, the way he delivered those lines was fantastic, and then the lyrical content was pretty swell, I thought as well. I really liked the line "Power's made by power being taken." You don't really think about that often, but there's only so much power to go around, so somebody's got to give some up for you to
get more power. Yeah, that was a fantastic line.
But I dug this one. What about you?
Yeah, man, it's one of my favorites on here as well. And we're going to keep trucking to Stop This Train. John says it was written at a time of solitary refinement. He's living in a hotel, and he's looking for a new house, and he's suffering in bed from double kidney stones. And Trey, You've had kidney. Just
Man,
bringing that
I feel
look.
for you. I feel for you, John. I had a kidney stone like 3, 4 years ago or something, and by far the
Yeah, it's the worst I've ever
worst
seen.
pain. You know, you just stand up and then you just go and throw up just because the pain is so
So
bad.
he's got them both places. He's not even in the comfort of his home. He's in a hotel room. So he was writing this during that period. Here's what he says about it. He says, it's definitely the most emotionally confrontational. Time is moving forward all the time, and we know that. But it's like running out of a continually burning hallway, and you can't go back and get your stuff.
Ooh.
And all I want to do is yell, I want to go get my stuff. And people go, you can't keep running. So this song is really about wanting to go back. So I thought that was a fantastic quote. So I'm really looking forward to this since, now that we know what condition he was in when he wrote this song, it should be pretty raw.
That's why always hearing the backstories kind of helps you with the context of where the artist is coming from. So let's get to it, man. Stop This Train. All right, that one was one of my favorites, honestly. Just
good. I was hoping that's a great song. Those are great lyrics, man.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Those are probably my favorite lyrics.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's fantastic, man. But
up to this point, man, it was what I like the most is in the bridge. Had a talk with my own man. Said, "Help me understand." He said, meaning his dad, turn 68, you'll renegotiate. Then it goes into the same kind of chorus, but now I think it's from the perspective of his dad saying,
exactly.
Don't stop this train. Don't for a minute change the place you're in. And don't think I couldn't ever understand. I tried my hand, John. So, his dad's talking to him. Honestly, we'll never stop this train. So I think his dad's looking at him thinking, I was once in your position, John, trying to stop time from moving, so to speak, or
just jump on the train and enjoy the ride and don't look back because there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, it's fantastic, man.
Yeah, just definitely one of my favorites here. Just so many great things to make you think. As time is Father Time is undefeated, no matter who you are, how much money you have, this or that. So enjoy the times where once in a while when it's good, it'll feel like it should.
Next up is Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. It says it's an R&B ballad. Basically, the relationship is doomed. It appears from the lyrics that he realizes this more than she does.
Interesting. All right. I see here it's one of his more famous tunes, it seems. So I'm curious to hear it.
I don't know it, but let's check it out.
That one was heat, man.
Yeah, that was great, man.
No pun intended with the burning room, so to speak.
Yeah, some fire lyrics. No pun intended either. But
man, I really enjoyed too the last minute. Just that guitar was so powerful and passionate underneath. It wasn't like front in your face in the mix, which I've noticed about his guitar playing on this record. It's never like overpowering, like, oh, I'm gonna be a guitar guy here.
He's not trying to showboat.
But he really kind of conveys his emotions well through that, which some guitarists I think have a hard time doing. They just try to show all their technical skill without really making you feel something, which John did.
It blends in the song.
Yeah.
You're a part of the song. You are not the song, and he does a great job with that. That's a fantastic analysis.
Yeah, just the imagery here was fantastic, man. Really loved the idea of slow dancing in a burning room and how he fleshed that out. This is actually one of my favorites, man. This was This was heat.
All right, agree 100%. I don't have much else to say about that. And we are going to pivot totally to an unexpected for me, but now I've learned that he likes to cover a lot of this man's songs. Bold as Love for our man Jimi Hendrix.
Well, I'm definitely looking, as y'all can see, just above my head.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Are You Experienced?
It's right there.
Jimmy's one of my favorites, and I do love Axis Bold as Love, the record, and the song here as well, Bold as Love. So I'm curious how he does this.
I feel like this could go south for you in a hurry, but I'm hoping it goes
well
man,
for you. I'm definitely going to give it a fair shake.
It's always hard, man, when you cover something that's legendary to somebody.
Mitch Mitchell isn't the easiest to cover.
No.
On top of covering Hendrix here, man. As I said during the actual song, really thought Mayer killed that guitar solo. I really love his guitar playing throughout this whole record. I know he's quite acclaimed as a guitarist, and I can see why, man. He killed it. Good choice of song here. This is some of the best lyrics and like just best overall song writing performance from Hendrix, I think. That he had in his career. So John chose a good one here. My only negative on the tune, maybe it's just because I know Jimmy's version so well. Jimmy sings with such a such a power
Yeah.
and on this tune in particular, and John's voice. I mean, technically he sang it really well. It just didn't have that punch and energy that I'm used to from the song, and that's more just a personal thing. If I just heard this out of the blue and I didn't know the Hendrix version, I probably would have a different opinion on it.
That's what I think exactly. I think if you heard this and didn't know the other version, but man, when you cover a classic song, it's always difficult because the people who really, really know that classic song are just always going to be hearing that classic. It's like if I have these headphones on, I'm hearing John in one ear and Jimmy in the other. And so I thought he did a really good job with that, kind of agree and echo what you said.
I will say, though, I always do like when really popular artists cover and bring some of these classic musicians to their current day fan base.
Yeah, to all new ears.
You know?
I agree 100%.
Even if you're not loving the entire package of it, I'm glad he did it, because if somebody was turned a Hendrix believer after hearing John's version and going back, I mean, I think that's a cool deal. And,
and it's courageous. He's not covering some artist who didn't have this like absolute mastery, so I'll give him credit for doing it.
No, man. So we only got 3 songs left. This is humming by, it seems. We're up now to Dreaming with a Broken Heart,
which I think is basically what it sounds like. They released it as a single. It only went to 99 in the US, so that's barely a single. He's got a broken heart and he's dreaming about it. I mean, that's kind of it.
All right, man. Well, let's keep rocking. Dreaming with a Broken Heart. What were your thoughts on this one?
Actually, that was a pretty good song. It's kind of middle of the road on the album for me. I'm going to make a guess here, Trey, but I might be wrong. I'm going to guess that she didn't really care for this one.
It was middle of the road for me, man.
I mean, it's finely done.
I appreciated the kind of piano ballad type of structure to it. It's something we haven't quite had on this record yet, so I give it props for its differentiation here from the rest of the record. These types of songs aren't particular ones I gravitate to just in general, and that's more, again, just a personal taste on my part. But I can't fault his voice or his lyrics yet again. A lot of great lyrics that reflect a guy with a broken heart, man. She takes you in with her crying eyes, then all at once you have to say goodbye. I mean, it's probably only like the fourth most heartbreaking couplet in this entire thing. So I do give him credit on that, man. Even I think that more reflects kind of my personal taste than anything. But now we're gonna move on to the longest song on this record, the 11th track, In Repair.
Well, this one was written by John and Charlie Hunter. And Trey, you might like the theme of this one way more than the broken-hearted love, because it's about emotional recovery, making reference to the shadows and the corners of a restless mind that prevent John from being his usual self. So since you're going into counseling, maybe this one's going to be up your alley.
No, I mean, much of the record has been, man. So I'm looking forward to this one. See how we start to close this record out. In Repair. I like how it had the lyrics going up to the very end there. I really dug that one. I know it is the longest song on the record, but it's actually one of my favorites, just for how it was arranged. The guitar playing was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought lyrically and then arrangement just all fit together just absolutely, as you said, perfectly, man. It didn't seem like 6 minutes.
I was just about to say, it didn't overstay its welcome either, which was appreciated, and I just thought he did a great job with it. Great job describing somebody who's in a state of kind of flux, maybe anxiety, overthinking things. I like too many hours in this midnight. I really thought that was a great way to put just
too many corners in my mind.
Just sitting there. And then one of my favorite was maybe when things turn green again, it will be good to say you know me, because he'll be kind of living life again, back kind of among the land of the living, so to speak. And I think the outro was very honest and just pretty blunt as well. I'm never really ready. I'm in repair. I'm not together, but I'm getting there. He recognizes he's not where he wants to be, but he's kind of taking steps toward. And as somebody who's going into the counseling field, that's what kind of what the goal is, to recognize
Yeah,
where you're
exactly.
at, but also kind of take some baby steps to get to where you want to be. So I thought he killed it on that one, man. And then we go to the final song. I'm gonna find another you. The shortest. We go from the longest track on the record to the shortest one.
Yeah, Trey, and it's pretty simple. Basically, he's hurt. His ex-girlfriend left him, but he's letting her know he's going to find another her,
Another
somebody
her. I
better.
like
So
that.
that's what you got to do, man. You got to sooner or later get over it.
Got to have that kind of some of those positive thoughts.
Yeah,
going.
exactly.
All right, let's finish this record out, man. I'm gonna find another you. Just I really enjoyed that one, man, because the arrangement, the horn. We hadn't really heard the horns. We heard it kind of at the start of the record. I can't remember the song. Now it was one of the first few tracks, I believe.
I
And
think it was "I Don't Trust Myself" with "Loving You," but I'm not.
yes, I
positive
think that's
about
it.
that.
And just again, some great lyrics on here. I am impressed with how great a lyricist Mayer really is here. I like the one, if I'm forced to find another, I hope she looks like you. Yeah, and she's nicer too.
Yeah.
My pride will keep me company, and you just gave yours all away. Now I'm going to dress myself for two, once for me and once for someone new. Those are just a couple of the lines I enjoyed. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I think it was a really, really well done song. I think the reason why is what you're talking about, the horns and the arrangement. I think if this song was arranged a little differently, Trey, it might have been the heart of life for you, and you may not have liked it.
That's true.
But he made it bluesy, which is what this song should be. Man, I'm missing you, but I'm trying to get over you, and I'm going to find somebody better than you. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he did a fantastic job on it. That's going to bring us to our favorite tracks, which is what I was doing over here while I was listening to what you were saying. For me, it's "Waiting on the World to Change," "Stop This Train," "Slow Dancing in a Burning Room," and "In Repair."
Man, I like that. You stole a couple of mine. I'm going "Stop This Train." Might have been my favorite actually on this record. "Gravity," I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that was almost on my list.
"Slow Dancing in a Burning Room," just that one touched me more than I expected actually as well. So those are going to be my three, and I really enjoyed "In Repair" though, and of course "Waiting on the World to Change." This is a solid record, man. 12 tracks that each kind of brought their own unique flair, I think, to the album. So all that to say, first listen, what is your overall score?
It's going to be high, and it's going to be much higher than I thought maybe going into this. As you said, outstanding lyricist, great guitar work on this album,
Yeah.
wonderfully produced. Just a really, really good album, which is oftentimes hard to do with 12 songs.
Yeah,
It's a lot easier
I
to do with
agree.
8 or 9 songs, 10 songs max. I'm going to be at an 8.25.
Yeah, man, this one impressed me for sure, man. I really dug what Mayer had to offer here. There were a couple tracks that just fell a little short for me, which is just sometimes just people that have kind of his vocal style is just not my thing. But for the majority of this record, man, he really impressed me with his lyrics, with his performance on the guitar, as well as just his voice. And so for me, I'm gonna be at a 7.75 here. I thought it was a
Right on, man.
really good record. So shout out to our guy Alan,
Yeah,
our
Alan,
patron,
thank you.
man, always bringing us good stuff and fun stuff to really dive into.
Yeah, he's brought us fantastic stuff.
Dissect and talk about. So let us know what you think of Continuum by John Mayer down in the comments below, and be sure to give Alan some love as well. And
And I mean, if you like those love songs, let him know, man. You know?
I know I'll probably be getting some heat in the comments there, but hey, what can you do? And as always, Dad, appreciate
Yeah, it's
the
fun, man.
research. And until next time, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and we will see ya.